Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Wajaha, and just an update from the previous videos that we've been making talking about the Terra ecosystem and its colossal collapse. Well, the Luna Foundation Guard, which are the organization responsible for trying to maintain the peg, they are the ones who held the Bitcoin that was used to help maintain the peg, which of course didn't work. Well, guess what? They have just released on Twitter what they've done with their Bitcoin and how much of their assets that they've got left. And you can obviously, you can look for yourself. You can see it's the pinned tweet on their Twitter page. And you can see that as of Saturday, the 7th of May, the Luna Foundation Guard held a reserve consisting of the following assets. They had 80,000 Bitcoin, 40,000 BNB, 26 million USDT, and 23 million USDC. Just under 2 million AVAX. They had about 700,000 in USD and they had about 1.7 million Luna, which of course at the time was worth a significant amount. And what they've done is they've written a thread where they've said that their main focus was the health of the Terra ecosystem. And when the price of UST began to drop subsequently below $1, the foundation began converting this reserve to UST. And they did this by directly executing on-chain swaps and transferring BTC to a counterparty to enable them to enter trades with this foundation in large size and on short notice. So they did an over-the-counter trade, and here's what they did. They directly sold the 26 million USDT and 23 million USDC for an aggregate of 50 million of UST. And of that 80,000 Bitcoin, 52,000 went over the counter. And yeah, they bought about 1.5 bill worth of UST. Yeah, on May the 10th, when UST had fallen to 0.75, pursuant to a master service agreement dated 10th of January, through which TFL managed and executed all finance, administrative and operative functions and support as requested. TFL, on behalf of the foundation, executed the following exchange trades in a last-ditch effort to defend the peg. And they sold the remaining 33,000 Bitcoin for an aggregate 1.1 billion UST. They swapped on the 12th of May, so after this, they swapped 883 million UST to 221 million Luna, which is rather odd because they basically ditched their UST and just kind of tried to protect the network after that. And here's the unfortunate thing. As of now, the foundation's remaining reserves consist of the following assets: 313 Bitcoin. We've gone from 80,394 Bitcoin to now just 313. We've still got the BNB reserves, the AVAX, UST, we've got of course 2 billion of that, and 220 million Luna as well, which of course is not worth much at all. And if you click on this link, it'll take you to the reserves, which you can see on a chart for yourself, going from the peak of 4 billion literally this month, and it's just straight down. Currently the reserve is worth less than 100 million. And this is pretty significant. It's pretty significant because in the previous video we talked about a proposal. Well, that proposal required about 1.5 billion. Let's try and open that proposal again. So here's a proposal that we talked about in the previous video by a gentleman called Fatman, who said that the most effective use of funds in the interim with only 1 billion or 1.5 billion was to basically figure out a way to save as many people, as many users as possible. And you know, this proposal has had hundreds, thousands of replies, thousands of comments. I mean, you're not really going to be able to do much with just $90 million, I'm afraid. So I don't know what's going to happen now. In my opinion, I think it's over. It's time to probably move on. I think the Luna team, the Terraform Labs and Luna Foundation Guard, will probably need this money for legal fees and all sorts of other things, payments and all sorts. So I mean, I don't know what kind of ecosystem they can kind of grow from this, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. Nothing surprises me anymore. So yeah, pretty sad, pretty sad. And I thought I'd just also share this with you guys, just to show you kind of the effect of what's basically happened. The TVL of Terra, which is growing so nicely over the months to a peak of around 30 billion. It's basically zero now. I mean, yeah, there's 480 million, but I mean, it's pretty illiquid. And yeah, you can just see for yourself, just look at the decline of all of these different applications that we've always talked about on the channel. Anchor, Aperture, Spectrum, Mirror, Mars, Astroport, Pylon, TerraSwap. They've all gone down. So yeah, that's just wanted to update you with that, with what the Lunar Foundation Guard have said. They don't have enough funds really to kind of restart the network as some of the proposals suggested. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. So yeah, that's all I've got for you today. I'll update you with more as more information comes out, as more updates come out, and of course I'll be back with another video soon.